Okay, and good evening, good afternoon, good morning, doesn't matter where you are. All that matters is that you are watching the free enterprise community with our Aaron race with a Palom hero. I am joined by the lovely Alchemy. Alchemy, how you doing today?
I'm doing just fine. I just ate, my tummy is full, and I am laughing really hard at Tibbles naming of the characters. I absolutely love it.
That is wonderful. How about you go ahead and run us through the flags that we have going on here today?
Sure. So Palom's flag set is a little different than usual. It's also I have considered that it was a little harder because it is max party limit is 4, so there's only 4 characters that you can get, and the C flag is a little different because C buy is on. That means that dismissed characters can no longer be retrieved. But also, uh, C no dupes is not on, so that means that you can pick up duplicate characters. That's the big main differences.
That's very true. We do have free characters on, so some of those difficult decisions might be made pretty quickly, especially with Max Party 4. So as they're trying to shape their party, they might have to really be figuring out who they want to keep because they're going to hit that overflow very, very, very quickly.
I really like having Possum Morpheus on Restream usually because most times Possum's idea of permajoin is just get a moderately decent party like as fast as possible and then like do whatever with it. While most people try to they they prefer to be like a bit more conservative and try to get the best characters they can. So they might go like down the hook route with like 2 or 3 characters, but like Possum just goes, just like picks whatever and goes. So I'm looking forward to that.
Possum very much, I frequent his stream often. Possum very much enjoys the puzzle aspect of things. Oh, and we are on our way. So let's see who Palom's going to be teamed up with today.
Imagine if it's like Darkness Crystal or something. Well, that's great.
Oh,
Ooh, this gold
Golbez.
is. What does half of an objective?
It's already a pretty potential to be a Jetty seed because, as we were talking about before it started, there's only 4 items that they really need for go mode, and adamant is one of them. So away
Yup.
we go.
We only need Forge, Baron Key, and the Darkness Crystal to be in go mode.
And as we were also talking about off stream a little bit, the dwarf starting kit has a lot of mage goodies, and Rosa can certainly benefit from those as well.
Indeed. Not only that, but they can get some good cash by selling some of those rune rings. Because let me tell you, 10 rune rings is a lot more than you will ever need.
That is true. So we have Divergence right off the bat. We've got Tybalt doing some shopping, and exactly what you're just talking about. Selling
I
some things
love
that we
it.
don't need, and getting that cash, whereas Possum's going immediately to... Oh. Well, Oscar's
Well,
happy.
wow, the duality. Really
Wow,
an Edward.
a hard reset. Man, I don't think I've ever seen that coming out of Mysidia. My goodness. I mean, I don't
Like
blame him.
it's an interesting thing because now you know those are there since Siba is on. Like you don't have to commit to that choice this early. Like you can just check a few different the character spots, see who's there, if you like them, and then like do a little trip around the world and pick the characters that you think will benefit your party the most instead of like picking whatever and going with it.
Yeah, that is a very good way to circumvent C-Buy. Looks like Possum has found a curse ring. That's going to help with agility anchoring for sure. And we have Tybalt. It is a T-Pro setting, so he's going straight to Evelyn looking for some goodies and found it with a Heron robe. That's going to be
Excellent.
helpful immediately.
Yeah, that Rosaside's gonna make good use of that. It like right away. We just need like a really good bow and some decent arrows, and we're set.
Absolutely. Possum's going up ordeals. Probably looking at the
That's a
free character as well.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
a Cecil.
that's fitting.
Yeah. Maybe a little French vanilla, a little, I don't know. Not quite Tella popping out up there, but definitely Cecil and Ordeals are mechanically intertwined.
Mm-hmm. Hmm. I like did did Possum pick that Cecil?
I believe so.
That makes sense, honestly. Like,
And it's not like you can even wait for him to become a paladin because he's being retrieved literally from Ordeals. So
yeah,
there's no waiting.
and besides, Ordeals is an objective, so you're gonna be doing Ordeals whether you want it or not.
Absolutely.
Therefore, it makes sense. This is a choice. Well,
Ooh, it looks like he's sticking with it for now. Well, twin magic is very useful in the early game, so that
indeed.
might be part of the rationale. And again, that starting set, a rune ring right off the bat is not bad at all.
Yup, and Rune Ring will boost the power of Twin, no matter which twin starts it, so it is pretty decent. And even though Possum is known as like disliking Param because she's the weaker of the two white mages in Free Enterprise, it just like we talked. It's 5 minutes, not even 5 minutes into the seat, and Possum already has his final party. There you go. That's it.
That is correct. On Tybalt's side, he did find a samurai bow. He also found a dragon whip. So when he comes across his Rydia, he might want to go ahead and keep her, maybe making some decisions about who's going to wear the heroine robe. But there is some serious firepower from a melee side with a very mage-heavy party. So it's a interesting beginning to what should be a very fun race.
This is a pretty solid like Cerama's party as well. Like, all you need are levels and some decent gear, and you're pretty much set.
Yeah. Interesting that Possum is choosing to go with this evil wall fight. He's kept the twins, probably for the twin magic as well. Also, I'm looking at Possum and I can't think Porum. Porum will learn Exit, obviously much faster than Rosa probably, and learns Blink faster, and Berserk. So that might be part of the reason. I don't know if he's looking for levels, trying to get Palom to Ice 2 or Virus, maybe?
Level 2 spells absolutely right. Like, completely messed up the overworld, so it makes sense, honestly.
And with Sea Hero being on, when they do that required ordeals, Palom will be by his lonesome. So I don't know if they found any J items, but those spells certainly help in that particular
honestly, Palom's just fine. He's gonna be fine.
This might be a good time to
or anything.
good time to bring up the meta objective, where the meta objective this afternoon or evening is to bluff up your wisdom to 99. That's 15 per bluff, and then eliminate a character with a virus, quake, or nuke.
Indeed.
And I feel like in terms of agility and in terms of safety, that's probably the safest spot to try to achieve that objective. So I'd be on the lookout for that.
Guess we'll see, but you do need at least virus first though. So guess we'll see where our racers decide to bluff to maximum, because it's Palom. He wants to show off.
Yes, for anyone that hasn't played the vanilla, Palom is not exactly humble. Oh,
Yo.
Hello, D-Mist. Hey, buddy.
Bonus round.
So I know Possum did a little bit of checking in the waterfall spot, so it's a little bit of time saved, I suppose.
Wow, it never ceases to amuse me. Like Dark Knight Cecil, just like swinging away, like take this for like 50 damage.
Whereas, Palom the Child or someone with a staff or a rod is doing more than his literal sword given to him by the knights of the most powerful empire in the world.
The video games are funny, folks.
Yeah, video game logic is a very real thing.
Mylon is nice, but it's not nice that you find Mylon here. Like you would rather find Mylon, like, I don't know, in the Fey March or something.
Yeah, sometimes those lit ones can be like, oof, 2240 on that flare.
Yeah.
Those rune rings are doing work, you're not kidding.
Yep.
Those lit ones can be a little bit rude, but you're 100% correct. It's when you get to a relatively free spot like Antline, you're hoping for something a little bit nicer.
Absolutely, and again, I absolutely love how Possum's big play is like wreck the early game and see if that makes up for like the late game of not having like I don't know like a stronger character. Ooh, Tybalt is done with Demis. Great work.
So we'll see if Tybalt remembers to do what I never remember to do, and that is to check the item from Demist. And
Oh boy,
some this
it's fine, but it's still funny.
it is. That starting kit coming in very handy for the characters here, for our runners here.
Ooh, great call from Tybalt. The only person that needs to be alive is Rosa because Cecil is going to reset his level when we complete our deals, and Palom is going to get the XP anyways.
Yeah, that might be a happy little accident given how fast everything was moving, or we've all seen Tybalt race a bunch, and his acumen is exceptional. So
Tybalt's really good at this game, folks. Tybalt's really good.
Yeah, it's absurd. Possum did check the package that he got from Antlion, and passing on Atella, you cannot slingshot with only 4
No,
characters.
that is correct.
So his utility goes down.
Nice. Bombs. Well, honestly, yeah. Why not?
They have the early money, so.
Yep. So here's the thing that I actually forgot until now. My apologies. Permajoing is not on for this flag set because okay, so when I designed this flag set, I was a little terrified of Max Max Party 4. I was like, ooh, this is gonna be like really tough. So permanent is not on. So in Possum's mind, he might like break the early game open with Porom and Twin Magic, and then like swap Porom with a fighter or something.
It's definitely a possibility. Again, he did that hard reset out of Mysidia, so you know he might want to pick up. It might be in his mind to pick up characters later, for sure.
It's also like Possum has been known to like make do with lower characters and everything. So I wonder if he'll pick up Tela with the required Darkness Crystal and just like go grind or something.
It's very possible. It's gonna be interesting to see how the grinds work.
Oh my goodness, that was a French vanilla Mylon C. Again, a terrible spot for that boss, but also a Legend Sword.
Away we go.
Oh boy!
It's like the randomizer was like, you know, I'm gonna do some work, but not a lot.
Yeah. I guess I'll tip my vanilla tiara that I'm like sharing with Zoe and Dathis. I guess like yeah.
Which also means that 11 minutes in, and we are 2 key items away from go mode.
That's Darkness at Fabul. Excuse me.
11 minutes in, and we are 1 item away from no mode.
Next, you'll tell me that Baron Key is at Baron Yang. Please, I beg of you.
I mean, your objectives, right? So we might find out.
Yeah, it's an objective, so.
And so is raising the whale. Would you check the character? Which looks like that's exactly what Possum's going to do.
This flag set, there's always the possibility of an Edge and Fusoya. So I mean, Edge is less important because like unless you have to do like a hook route, we haven't found. Oh right, we haven't found like logical underground access to Baron Ing. Has to. Oh wait, Demist. Hold on.
Did we get?
Well, so Baron Ing has to have like logical underground access, so that's not gonna be Baron Key. Too bad. But yeah, Edge or Fusoya are still like restricted characters, so it might be worth a trip to the moon to find out Fusoya.
I mean that's a game changer, and if you do a bunch of the overworld and then the underworld because you don't want to spend the time, and then you find out, oh hey, Fu was here the whole time, that feels a little bad.
It does. Like a Shalakitty in chat with a very good point. It could be Baron Key to underground access. That is true. It could be like a some kind of chain.
Well, we are just going to have to go ahead and wait to find out. So Tybalt's doing some rating of Watery Pass. As we mentioned earlier, it is on T-Pro. He picked up a free cane. Possum
Black
is
belt.
getting...
Black belt on table side. Very nice.
Oh,
Well,
well,
there's the edge.
and it,
I think Porom might go away, unless Possum really appreciates the early white magic spells. Ooh,
Yeah, no.
You have to think about it.
It might have been a miss menu. I don't know. Edge with the Overworld Treks, though, just makes you absolutely fly. No,
yeah,
there's
at this point, yeah, you're right.
There's the old adage that, you know, you loot until you don't have to anymore. Now, it is Sineki, so his limited gear is going to impact how much he can really handle. But still. Ooh, that's nice.
There's hourglasses right on the moon.
And
very
free
nice.
bosses are on.
Indeed. And not only that, you have a Cecil. You know, you can check a couple trap chests.
Absolutely. Or if they end up on the moon, D-Machine Grind may or may not be off the table, depending on how many key items they have and if they want to go ahead and deal with the lack of Slingshot. But those King Ryus on the moon, the hourglasses make them free.
It's not a jet seat until it's go mode. I will say that. Even if this is looking pretty jetty, unless it's go mode, like it's not a jet seat. But
I just got excited. You're right.
Yeah.
You're 100% right.
Like I have gotten excited before, but like there is a distinct possibility that the Baron Key is like buried in under some massive chain or something silly like that.
It could be hook route to underground and Baron Key. Baron Key is at the Leviathan spot. I mean, that's all very, very possible.
Or like Leviathan spot give like Earth Crystal that gives Twin Harp that goes and gives you the tower key and you know all that.
It'd be very interesting to see where that final piece is. Edge starting with an Ice Claw. That's not something you see every day.
That's so cute. A nice claw.
I mean, but to your point, I mean, how often do we see trap chests where we're looking for a shiny sword for Cecil? You know, trap chest looking for either a shiny sword for Cecil or a Masa or Mura or a ninja sword or something for Edge too. So
what's
I feel like
Possum doing?
He's probably trying to get to Blink, or maybe trying to get Palom to Virus to do his meta objective.
Ooh, that's true. It could be that.
So he does a mini grind on here from time to time. I can't imagine that this is about the bosses, because he would more than likely check the bosses. I think he's also keenly aware that Flame makes a lot of these, not all of them, but makes a lot of these fights automatic.
Yeah, because the Flame spirits, like the spirits that the ghosts absorb fire, right?
Correct. Yeah, there's the couple of the ghouls or ghosts or whatever that actually absorb the fire, so those would have to be hit separately. Is he done? Oh, he's done. Oh, he's looking. Did you catch the wisdom? I didn't.
It's like 27, I think.
27? Alright, so 4 bluffs would be 60 more. So is it 5 bluffs? Well,
I am... Okay, I will warn the chat and my co-commentator, I am terrible at math. Numbers are not my forte. So, I will shoot check after the stream. I'm sure Possum knows what he's doing.
Hey, Alchemy, look! More vanilla. We have karate in the karate spot.
It just keeps happening. I'm sure like my buddy Xenocat will be so proud of me.
Why is that?
Because Xenocat, like, okay, so one time it's kind of a big joke. Like one time, I had a vanilla chain of like 5 or 6 vanilla in a row, like on the spots they were supposed to be, with ending at Valvales. at the Valvalis spot, and I said, "Oh yeah, and Valvalis is gonna be at Sod," and Tinoket like left the booth for like a couple minutes.
Was he
They were so
disappointed? Or...
done with me. They were so done with me.
Oh my goodness.
Well,
So
as
we have
as
the
I
hook.
mentioned earlier, yep, there's our logical underground access. Possum is gonna be so happy that Possum has like edge, because that's gonna make the possible bosses down there pretty doable.
Yeah. Once a quick benchmark for Palom usually is Quake. That's generally very, very helpful, and can really assist in who's ever in the Ruby spot. Also, King Queen can be a pain. Also, it's so fast and it's very punchy, especially for what the levels usually are at this point.
Indeed, but also, I keep like hyping Edge, but things is he has a nice claw and a boomerang, and he's doing like 200 damage. So Possum better find some decent weaponry for that Edge, or he's not gonna be of much use.
Well, the Elbin shop might be of assistance in that particular matter. I think are we on S standard or S Pro? I think we're on S standard.
We are indeed in S standard, so that's up to tier 5 equipment in gated shops.
Tybalt remembering to do what I did not remember to do, which was we have a rat tail to check. So let's see what we get here.
Indeed, this could be a Baron.
It could.
No, it's just a dam, but I mean that's very good.
So
that is very very good actually.
And Tybalt doesn't have his Darkness Crystal, which means that he is saving himself at least one Fabul trip.
I mean, no, you gotta do. No, actually, yeah, you're right. You don't have to do Fabul.
It also means that he'll be doing the hook route without edge.
Without edge, yeah. And without those hourglasses that Possum might use to find some. I don't know if Possum is gonna use the hourglasses for experiences, like experience points or equipment. But there's Leviathan and a long sword. Wow, which is like next to each other. Makes that really tempting.
I personally love looting Evelyn at any chance that's possible, whether it's T Wildish or T Pro.
Oh,
Sirens. Well,
and another Leviathan, just in case you're going to pick it up on the way in there.
Oh, and it looks like Tybalt picked up a ninja sword at some point. So, if they get those sirens, if they end up picking up that Rydia, and still have the heroin robe, then the dragon whip heroin robe combination helps to make that siren grind go very quick. Should they opt for that method? And if Possum ends up going into Evelyn as well, he'll between the ninja sword in the chest and the long sword in the chest in the Evelyn castle will the ninja sword in the Evelyn castle and the long sword in the cave means that he's going to be very well equipped.
We don't know if Possum is going to open those chests though. Like maybe he feels like pretty good power wise. So I guess we'll see. Like the equipment Possum has is less than stellar though. So I think like Possum is like not done looting just yet. I mean, I know I wouldn't be, but my looting is outrageous.
Yeah, I'm definitely a loot goblin. There's no question. Oof. Vigan at the.
I like how we both like at the same exact time.
I mean, there are just certain spots where Vigan. I mean, not that Vigan is a particularly aesthetically attractive sprite to begin with, but there are certain spots where Vigan is just gross, and this is absolutely one of them. You have to imagine that both characters are going to be working to get Palom up to Quake, because if you get Vigan in a queue where the Quake is destroying the arms, and then Vigan is recovering the arms, and then Palom quakes, wash, rinse, and repeat, doesn't make it free necessarily, but it makes it much easier. So I can't possibly imagine that two seasoned runners like this will not be tackling that. Nice rune next without getting Palom up to Quake first.
Guess we'll see what happens, because like Possum has hourglasses to tackle those trap chests, but Tybalt doesn't yet. So Tybalt might feel pressure to buy sirens to level up Palom, or do you think like Tibble will do like some random encounters or something?
Well, Tibble just picked up that rune axe, which means that if they can stay alive, that Mad Ogre chest is free. And
That is true.
then I would assume that Palom probably has virus at this point, which means that's some decent AoE for the other two chests as well. So I could see, even without the hourglasses, Tibble being able to go ahead and get through.
Indeed. And I'm just so curious. Like Tibble. Oh, there it is. Tibble found them. They were looking for it, I think.
It was. I remember when I realized that this counts as the possibility of a trap chest.
Oh no!
Oh god!
Berserk the Staleming. Uh-oh.
This is the trap. I hate this trap chest more than Jimmy and Binny.
Really?
I loathe. I fall asleep. It's fast. Oh, it's early on. I'll be fine. I'll get some good gear. It kicks my rear every single time.
What's up? You're sleeping now.
Can put that rune axe to some work here.
Yep.
48.
Yeah, this is rough, but I mean, like, Rosa's fine because of that heroin robe, no doubt. Because, hey folks, a heroin robe is one of the best pieces of equipment in the entire game.
Absolutely.
So as long as Rosa is look at that, just bonking for 300. And Cecil is blocking the punches.
So Cecil has an assassin dagger on. I believe that a Staleman is susceptible. I'm not sure.
It is. I believe it doesn't have the boss speed on. Yes.
And my understanding of how this works is that if you can time it so that the ATB of the Staleman is basically at 0, like the Staleman has just gone, and then attack at that moment, you have a very high likelihood of the swoon hitting on the assassin dagger. Part of the problem is they hit so stinking hard. I think that's that's not down yet.
So
and 2, they're so fast.
Yes, they are extremely fast. So the thing is that if you hit the Staleman at what we like to call ATB 0, like they haven't even gotten a signal ticking after their action, the swoon proc and most status effects proc will always hit for some reason. It's better like that, and that's like one way to fake randomness. Like as long as they hit ITB 0, like you immediately the status effect applies.
Wow! Well,
there it is. Wow.
That changes things.
Okay, I guess maybe we don't even need Quake anymore.
I personally would still get it, and it looks like Tibble's
just gonna save. Yeah, I'm just gonna save after that Excalibur. Are you joking? Absolutely.
What I really liked about that Tibble fight is it looked like, and we should ask him after if he comes on for an interview, if he was looking for those swoon strats, but then he knew enough that as characters went down, he could utilize the cover strats with Cecil, which was extremely savvy. And then as Cecil, you bring your party members back, they're at low health, and then Cecil protected them. So a really heads-up fight, and leaving those party members low, so as to go ahead and keep those protect strats on. Looks like Rosa wanted to go ahead and try to bonk Cecil, but Cecil didn't have Excalibur on yet. The power staff bonk, of course, will berserk Cecil under the right circumstances.
That's so clever. Like, these people are extremely good at the game because they know of these like tiny niche strategies and interactions, and when they realize that the most optimal thing to do is use those niche strats and interactions, they just go for it, because the best way to get better at free enterprise is like getting knowledge about the game. It's one of the things I like the most about it.
Yeah, it's definitely a learn by doing type of game, but also this community is so nice, and they're so generous with their knowledge and their time and patient. Bahamut Sudden, that's a tier 7.
That's a money orb.
And they do have that radio. That's got to be tempting.
Yeah, but at this point you have two fighters, the Palom, which is a black mage, and a white mage. I don't think like either of our racers is gonna be picking up that radio. I don't think so.
I agree, for sure. So we're going to see the power of Edge here. This flame will likely take out the four skulls very, very quickly with the AoE. It's funny how the two divergent paths have had them kind of converge here.
I know it is pretty interesting. And people still hasn't picked up that darkness crystal. But you know, with the pan in hand, it's only a matter of time. So
Absolutely, it's not very likely that's going to be last location.
And let's see
what we get from this fight.
Ooh, just blink. Whoop.
And Possum is frantically trying to exit, except he got rid of the white mage that can actually go ahead and exit, so he's going to do, not the walk of shame when you have a crystal sword, but he's like, you know what? I've got Quake, I've got crystal sword, and I'm going to go.
Yep. Thing is, this means that Tybalt spent some time doing stalemate for an Excalibur. Done that, okay, Edge can throw, but Tybalt doesn't have Edge yet. I don't know if he'll swap Kane for Edge, but it's that might cost Tybalt some time that Possum is gonna make up by buying 15 Sirens and having the Cecil with a crystal sword and grinding once he gets underground.
Anyone that's watched any of Possum's streams, it's not uncommon to watch that man pick up 30 Sirens and just go to town and then blow up the game.
Ooh, Tybalt opting for taking the Matchest Ogre. The Matchest Ogre, nice one. The Mad Ogre chest. I mean,
yeah.
With that Ogre axe, it's gonna take no time at all, but oopsie, that's the worst. Thanks, Watson.
I'm not sure. I don't know. Maybe Pal might not be up to Quake. I haven't caught up on that, or I'm not quite sure what piece of equipment he's looking for at this point. I think there's a Gungnir or something comparable on Kane. You have the Crystal Sword, obviously.
Well, there's that.
I mean, it's not bad.
I mean, it's not a game changer, but you know, it's a black shirt. That's pretty beefy for Palom.
Absolutely. So Rune Ring, Wizard Hat, Black Robe.
Yeah, those viruses are gonna be blowing like Baigen. Well, maybe not Baigen, but whoever's at King Queen.
Yeah, he's a beefy, terrifying child. Sometimes you forget that in the game that these are kids.
Yeah.
Well, there's probably feel. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Like I'm just like in awe at the log that there's not only an Excalibur at stalemate, but a crystal sword at the skeleton's chest. Just like, oh wow, there goes the seed.
Yeah, I mean, if Baron Key ends up being, trapped behind some ridiculous chain, the quote unquote jet seed part of it goes away. But at the same time, with the equipment that we have and the party that we have, I mean, this is, maybe prefer to have a Foo, but in some ways, this is an ideal party. You would say so for both runners. I know that Tybalt's got Kane versus Edge, but with these runners especially, no one's going to feel bad about taking this party to the end.
Absolutely not. There is a very distinct possibility that we may find a second Cecil somewhere.
Which would be interesting for Tybalt, because he has a second shiny sword.
Indeed. So I guess we just have to wait and see what happens, because I thought this stage was gonna be like, this flag set was gonna be way harder. Like, oh wow, this difficulty out like 8 out of 10. Oh, watch out. But then it just happens. Have a crystal sword.
Poorly drawn bees making a good point. Cecil's looking good today. I agree.
Neon Cecil is one of my favorites. I also am willing to agree.
Let's see what we get. It's fine. Take it. If you get Dark Imps at a bad spot, or something you can life glitch.
Indeed. I wonder who's waiting for us at King Queen Evelyn spot. For folks that are new and don't know what's up, the King Queen Evelyn spot is a spot in the game that has that doesn't use a single physical attack, and such. Well, it has absurdly high physical attack. So like there are multiple spots like this in the game where they don't cast a single like they don't throw a single punch, but for some reason I guess that's the default they went with or some such in the development of this game, like the original Final Fantasy IV. Bosses that don't throw punches have a lot of physical attack, so if we find a punchy boss in King Queen Evelyn, they're gonna have a bad time.
I can't possibly imagine that the folks that coded this game could have ever dreamed that 25 years later, 30, whatever it is, that this is how the game would live on. So I assume that when they coded it, this wasn't exactly part of the thought process. So that coding definitely leads to some fun situations. Ooh, that's spicy.
You don't think that Hironobu Sakaguchi didn't look in the future and said, yes, the fine folks at Free Enterprise are gonna make use of this.
I do not, as a matter of fact.
Okay, so there's Paladin. Paladin that doesn't throw a punch, it's fine. Well, no, it does, but not very often.
Yeah, as long as they avoid elemental spell. I mean, with both these parties, this fight, it's not that it's free, but it's highly discounted. Can we say it like that?
I suppose so. Palom has virus, so Palom has no need of throwing those elemental spells.
Yeah, and that's gone.
Well,
Alright.
but then here's the big stinky wagon. With Quake, it'll be easier.
So, Rosa, you're gonna want to. They're definitely want to go ahead and anchor this for sure, which is why they have everything in the order that they do. I'm a little surprised to see Palom in this spot that he's in. I would have thought maybe Palom be first to act, but I'm certain there's something that I'm just not thinking about.
Oh, agility is pretty hard. It's just out of math. Not as hard as people think it is, but it is hard.
I remember I'm a music teacher, and I remember someone saying that there are some colleges that would accept music theory AP to be equivalent as a calculus course. And I swear that on a collegiate level, if you can understand agility manipulation in this game, that you should get full-blown college credits for some math gen ed as you pursue your bachelor's. It's, some runners are just fluent in it. With our next tournament coming up in a little while, I imagine we'll see that more and more. And then there's me, who takes out my abacus, because I remember when this game came out. I am that old, and trying to figure out who's going to go first. Also, with party size 4, you see some wonky things sometimes. You really do.
Absolutely. The other thing is that agility manipulation and agility in this game is fine. It's just like a math equation that you apply to the fight, and it works. With the ATB and the ATB pointer, and now that's the true black magic that people don't talk about. That's the true enigma of this game.
I remember watching a Z fight. Also, can we talk about how both these runners are completely fine
absolutely.
with a gross fight? And they're just flying through.
We can chat about this nonsense because we know people on custom are so good at this game. They just are blowing through this bike, not this disgusting spot.
It's ridiculous. They got their blinks up to avoid the attacks. You've got a Zerk Crystal Sword Cecil. I mean, you have a very effective Palom. I mean, we can go ahead and talk about literally anything we want because they are so incredibly good at this. It's like poetry in motion, watching them go.
Indeed.
J-Mac, I could talk about music theory all day, and then to the point where there would be no one left to watch this race, so I have to try to control myself a little bit.
Kane's doing his best. That's a Gagner thing.
I believe so. What's ironic is that Tybalt has all the good edge gear, and Possum has edge.
That's true. Well, Possum is first through Baigan, putting him slightly in the lead, I would say. But
Yeah,
Possum doesn't have the pan. That's the thing.
Possum has darkness. Tybalt has pan. I'd say Possum might have a slight lead, but these things can turn on a dime.
For people not very aware, Possum and Tybalt have a bit of a friendly rivalry, and they love to joke about finishing within like 15 seconds of each other. And so far, it's shaping that to be that way.
I believe that we saw a CPU at the top of tower.
That's
CPU
disgusting.
It's always free, but it can be a little time consuming.
So you want it to take as less time as possible, basically.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see. I probably wouldn't see much of an orb grind. For those that don't know, the attacker, defender, and the CPU all have the same amount of experience. So if you get CPU at a spot with a lot of experience, and you have the ability to revive your party members, you can go ahead and rack up a significant amount of XP in a short amount of time. I have to imagine that they'll probably just Zerg Cecil and just let him go to town.
Possum is going to check out on that forge, which will get Palom basically a free Stardust Rod, like XP, like a weapon as good as a Stardust Rod with 15 wisdom.
Yeah, I'm more curious to see the shop.
That's the better one. That's the best one he can get, because that's 15 wisdom and 15 will, which will skyrocket his magic defense as well. Very good.
He walked right past that Murasami and said, "You know what? I'm good. I have Crystal Sword Cecil, and I have an overpowered child."
Like, that's the thing. Like, maybe you don't need that. Like, or you will find like a womp somewhere that will give you some cash. Guess we'll see.
A little surprised to see Possum going back up to the overworld.
Might be wanting to check out that rat tail.
Oh, good call. And remembering to use the appropriate ship here.
Oh yes, it has never happened to me that I just tried to pick up the overcraft with the Falcon. Me, absolutely not.
And I've definitely never left the Falcon or the Big Whale by Troya after doing Zot and then couldn't park. Never. Of course not.
And what do you have the self for us? It's K summon. So instead of the self summon, we get something that could be.
It'd be amazing if this was the Baron key.
Ooh, that's very good. A life test is plus 15 with will, and that's just that's Rosa's set. Rosa's set for the end game.
Yeah, I feel like they're all set. There's really not a lot that you would really look for in terms of equipment at this point.
Like a white spear, or like an Avenger for Tybalt for the king, and like Possum some better gear for Edge. But that's about it, honestly.
Yeah, it's definitely nothing that they quote unquote need to have.
Yes, it's just gonna make Ceremon's and late game in general go by quite faster.
Sure. So Tybalt's going to give us our first look into the Feymarch, and we'll have our look at the Feymarch freebie. Tybalt not even bothering to loot, because why would he?
Yeah, at this point, Warp there's an Earth Crystal, very nice. You know, that's the one place I will loot. Like, sure, it's max tier 6, but there could be some like decent swords. I mean, not swords, like like ninja swords there.
I mean, you could get a defense sword for Kane. That's a possibility.
That's true. Because Avenger is tier 7, I believe, right?
Avenger is tier 7, yes.
Also, that's a blue robe and vanilla Leviathan, I think.
That was vanilla Leviathan. There you go. See, you got this. You're good.
Awesome checking his freebies. You love to see it. That's 2 key items when you only need 1. Tybalt doesn't know that you only need 1. So, like, because Tybalt hasn't done Fabul yet. So these are 2 chances. That's one that takes a long time, and there
Oh,
it is.
that's it.
We're in gun mode, folks.
We are, and I'll just go ahead and throw this
Just
into
let
the
it
chat.
burn.
There's
Fate to fate harp. I don't think we're going to hear some of the wonderful tunes that DJ Spoony B has for us this seed, because oh boy, Possum's going to Baron, and he's gonna grind, and he's gonna say hi to Ceramus, and I'm gonna go to bed early tonight.
Tibble picked up those protect rings. He spent a little more than 0.3 seconds looking at the shop. For the Z fight, that might be helpful. Those are fantastic pieces of gear. Possum already picked up those 15 sirens. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then the crystal will be 10. So
Indeed,
you will have exactly 10 key items with those sirens.
you will think, like, the way Possum and people have been playing this, like, you will think that this is like almost like a Rogers Relish, like spoiler log seed, you know, like these folks are so good at routing that they have been so clean that Possum is gonna end up with 10 key items and ready to grind. It's like, wow, have you done this on purpose? Like, wow, please.
It's sick. It's you know, for those that follow the randomizer, those that have played it, someone from the outside looking in might not actually appreciate, I don't want to say brilliance, but just the acumen and the intelligence that goes behind all these decisions. I forgot this was Golbez.
I forgot I was Golbez too. I was so excited about everything, like literally everything else, that I completely forgot Golbez. So this is Golbez. He laughs at you, and then he downs your party until there's only 2 people, and then he throws spells at you. A little else. That's kind of all he does, but he takes so long.
There's no venom at this point.
He does, but I like Possum's play. This way, he knows which 2 characters are gonna be standing at the end of the Shadow Dragon's attack. And those are the 2 folks with some pretty high DPS, especially, Cecil with the Holy Sword, and hey, Golbez is weak to Holy. So we have Tybalt finding the good news by doing Baron, by doing Kabul. Tybalt gets his Darkness Crystal, and by checking his Sheila, Tybalt gets his Baron Key, and he's also in Go mode.
I don't know if that was a key item check on his side to make sure he had what he needed, or trying to go ahead and see how close he was to 10 for his grind. I guess I have to wonder how much do you grind here? Do you?
Oh,
I don't
God.
think
That's the biggest
I don't think
question.
you can Palom. I mean, that could be it, right? These runners are so close. And Possum's ahead a little bit, but the grind method is definitely going to play a huge part in who finishes first over here.
Absolutely. Like, the thing is you could do what we call here a power couple strats, which is have Rosa and Cecil. And Rosa heals and throws berserks, and Cecil just goes ham with the crystal sword. And that's literally enough to defeat Ceramus, if you know what you're doing. So with the support of Palom and Edge, we might not see very high levels, because these erasers are very good at the game, and they're comfortable with doing Ceramus at lower levels than, most folks would. Ruby Kante here instead of Kinasa. I kind of like that it's another theme. Wow, Bacchus and Torva, hello.
And he picked up a Silk Web in Dwarf, which
God, that's beautiful. That's right. That's it.
Now, as I'm thinking about it, at Cydia, because C-Buy is on, but Possum did that hard reset. Hey, we're using the Ice Claw. There we go. See,
nice.
Ice Claw strats from a back row edge.
Oh my God.
I wonder if he would ditch Edge for routing purposes, because you can't ditch Palom. Take Rydia let's find out right now, I guess, because this would be an agility anchor.
Oh, but under Sea Hero, the thing is,
Oh, that's right. You're right. I'm sorry.
no worries. I can explain Sea Hero. Sea Hero is not only like the hero of the sea. Not only does the hero get a cool weapon, but the hero also is the agility anchor. So there's nothing you can do in regards to agility but to trust in your hero and use gear to manipulate it.
Palom is generally pretty slow, and Possum picked up a curse ring at the very beginning of the race, so they'll be fine. They'll be more than fine.
Tybalt is already grinding, or already putting in the, which makes me wonder, like, isn't Tybalt going to like wait for 10 items? I mean,
He has the Earth Crystal, which Possum does not, so he's at 10.
Right. Yeah, I was thinking like, wow, 6,800, huh? That's a lot.
So neither runner has the pass.
No,
So
the path is probably like buried, like Lord knows where. Like we don't even care where the pass is. We're not gonna search for it.
right. The reason I bring that up is I wonder if King Ryu's with the Sirens would be a little more tempting because you have to go up on the moon anyway, and with the life glitch and 10 key items, that's 180k a pop.
That is true, and Possum might still have hourglasses. Like that's the thing.
I think Possum has one, but that shop was on the moon, and at this point, with the amount of
you
gear
can
he's picked up.
like all your gear and buy hourglasses. That is an option, but yeah, but apparently Possum is doing this for now.
Yeah. A really good move of putting Palom with the curse ring on. That puts all of his party members on RA1 except for Palom, and by putting Cecil in the center slot, Cecil is guaranteed to go first, which means that crystal sword will slice through the eggs in a very, very quick fashion.
All you have to do is hold A.
Hold A, that's it. And when people like me run, hold A and pray, because that's not calculated.
Hatch? What do you mean, Hatch?
Is it possible that we're gonna have a sub-hour seed?
I don't think so. Like,
maybe if they had the pass.
Yeah, if they had the pass, maybe. But Cerberus might take a little while still. And like running down to Cerberus is like what, 3.5 minutes, just like running down the Noresta terrain. So that's like 53.5, and that's the Cerberus fight. I guess if Possum does like a perfect sea fight, we could get like, I don't know, like a 58, 59, but I kind of doubt it. It would be really like wild to see.
So we're probably going to get Rosa to at least Cure 4 on Possum's side. I don't believe Possum has that Silk Web, and I don't believe that Tybalt has that Cursed Ring. Otherwise, I have to imagine he would have thrown it on Palom, even during this grind, just to go ahead and get Cecil to go first. I don't think this is a situation where you get Palom to nuke, although I could be wrong. This is not a Reflect Strat party.
It absolutely isn't. Like Rosa is here in full support mode, and Palom is, I don't know, might be throwing around some viruses. Like I don't even know if Palom is gonna get to nuke with his body, honestly.
Kane going down the coffin. I don't know.
I don't get it. I'm gonna write
either.
that down.
The only possible thing I can think is is for some kind of agility reason, but beyond that, I got nothing. I have no idea why that just happened.
Oh boy, yeah, it could be like some bonkers agility. Oh, I want Kane to go, in this place after someone throws a crystal or whatever. Like these people operate on such a massive brain. Like I have no idea.
Yeah. Or I don't know. I got nothing. That will be if he comes in for an interview, we're gonna have to ask for that. Write that down. Looks like Possum is done with his grind.
Possum's going for it. Possum's just going for it.
Skull, what can I say? You know, let me go ahead and get my pen out here.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Free Enterprise Days, and we have the paper and the pen for wonderful like handmade tracking.
As Possum is walking down, and we are rewatching some fights that we've already seen in Baron Castle, I think now would be a good time to shout out our restream team. Dubword is doing the hard work for us with the tracking. The lovely Asuka424 is doing tons of work with the restream. I looked at the guide for that and got very confused and immediately closed it. My brain started to hurt. The lovely Alchemy on comms with me, and if you haven't already, please give all the people a follow. Possum and Tybalt's runs are ridiculous with a very educational and entertaining commentary. It's an amazing community here, and it's such a pleasure to be a part of. So please give everyone a follow.
And of course, a wonderful shout out to my co-commentator Break. You've been an excellent to chat with.
Why, thank you. It's easy when I'm in good company.
I agree.
Ooh, that was smooth. I was sitting here all proud of myself for like how charming that was, and then bam, I was like, all right. My goodness gracious.
Okay, so Tybalt is done with Goldbest. So as we can see, Possum seems to be like a little like ahead of Tybalt. Tybalt still has to raise the well, which is a cutscene that takes a little while. So,
and Tybalt will also have to go through the cutscene of seeing that Edge was available the whole time.
Oh yeah. So I think it is safe to say like right now Tybalt is on that Possum is on the lead. But thing is, folks, Ceremus is a very hard boss. Better said, at the levels we fight Ceremus, it's pretty hard. And you know, hold on. Did he give Edge 2 Mutinize and a Rune Ring? Oh god, this Possum's like scrapping the bottom of the barrel for Edge.
Yeah, and wasn't there Sheila 2 was the Baron key.
Correct.
And the Pan Bonk was the life staff. But I believe that Rosa currently has a power staff on.
Oh, I wonder if Possum just forgot, or if it's part of something.
I don't know. It's
So we're seeing flags on the chat, and I think people are telling me to go to bed already because it's like 10 p.m. But folks, I'm gonna go to bed late tonight, and there's nothing you can do to stop me. And I'm a big girl; I can do whatever I want. Okay,
or
no.
it's possible that we can't possibly move Zeramis into the Antlion spot. That'd be crazy. Zeramis is too big, bad, and terrifying. But our lovely Skullkilly has designed, I'm going to get corrected, 563 and a quarter sprites that we can go ahead and randomize the sprite into. And I believe that BZs are wondering, Alchemy, want to do the honors?
Sure. So, whose spot are we gonna kick tonight or this afternoon? And as I like to say from community member Alicel, what is Ceremus gonna cosplay as?
Ooh, that's new. I swear, at this point in the wiki, they have to put the list, right?
I don't know.
It's but cute. Is he cosplaying?
Oh, you mean that? The list of questions. Okay.
Oh man.
I'm still wondering what's the quarter sprite that you mentioned.
Oh,
Wow, King Boo's so powerful that he can have 4 people looking at directly at him and he doesn't care.
Wow. I know. You know, in a weird way, I'm kind of proud of King Boo from overcoming his fear of being looked at.
Yeah, absolutely. So, with Tybalt racing the well, it's gonna take Possum a wipe for Tybalt to catch up, pretty much. This is Possum's race to lose at this point. So we'll see how. Ooh.
That's bad. Okay.
That was close. That was close of things going very south very fast. Not
Yep.
like I don't think Possum got Q3s anywhere.
Or elixirs, otherwise that definitely would have been used by now. So we'll see if
Yeah.
Rosa gets a turn. Oh, I think we're just assuming she's going to die, and Palom is going to bring up Rosa. And
Honestly,
then Rosa
that's
will
fair.
cast Cure 4. That's heads up right there. Because with the nerf Big Bang, it can only go up to 1200, which Palom tested.
I will have freaked out so hard and like scrambled to heal Rosa and miss the thunder on display. Like Possum keeping his head cool under the pressure. You love to see it.
Always. So with the damage output, you know, you're looking per round here. It's around about 6,000 per round, which means we're more than likely going to be looking at a nerfed Big Bang here. I once watched a Pankraz stream where he said that he watches the HP going down to count the ticks, which I thought was absolutely brilliant.
Oh my god!
Right?
Really?
So here's our shake.
There's the Starville.
And a direct virus going out to act as our nerf. Since virus essentially has no cast time whatsoever, this is good, and I believe that will be a good nerf here. With the Starveil up on Rosa, so Rosa won't get rudely attacked again. And honestly, Palom going down, either Palom or Edge is best possible target here.
Absolutely. Like Palom, you know, she's a hero, but we're trying to go fast here, so you can be the hero by throwing the viruses that nerf the Big Bang. A heroic sacrifice.
Predictably, I have not been counting HP. So
I mean, come on. Life 2. It's so rare to see a Life 2. I love it.
But if the nerf went through, oh, so that was a fake shake.
Ooh, so you think that Ceramus went to phase 2?
Yes, I do. At some point, there was probably a HP tip that
I think
for HP refill.
And Possum noticed. Ooh. Ouch.
He lives.
Oh, Possum has elixirs. Very nice.
But again, like you said, didn't panic and saved them. Ooh. Oh. See if that nerf went through. I believe that it did. Of course it did.
Yep. That's a wasted elixir. Hey folks, if you throw an item and it's wasted, did you know that? It sucks.
So we gotta be coming up on rocks pretty soon, I'd have to imagine.
I believe so.
And as I thought, Palom putting the Cure 2 on Cecil, which means that Cecil will be able to survive a couple of meteor hits. That's actually best possible scenario, because with that black hole, Rosa's Starveil went down as Tybalt enters the Z fight. I think we're at rocks.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Yep,
So,
we're rocks. Our couple to go all the way.
Possum being a slacker, taking over an hour. Apparently, I apologize on behalf of Possum for not taking our very busy lives and schedules into consideration here.
And that
is a shake. Get your GGs in chat, folks, for Possum Morpheus finishing. Official time that is somewhere on a channel that I can't find.
It is an hour, 1 minute, 26 seconds.
Thank you, Alchemy.
You're welcome.
And with that happy little sound, I do believe that Possum has joined us in the voice chat. GG's, my friend.
Hello.
GG's. Alchemy, I thought this was supposed to be like an 8 out of 10 on difficulty, my friend.
Okay, so I was when I designed this Flexus last year, okay, and I was terrified of like Max Party 4 at the time. I was like, oh, this is gonna suck, like Max Party 4, and I really wanted to add C-Buy because the idea is that people can't stand Palom, so they live and don't come back. So I was like, ooh, Max Party 4 with C-Buy, this is gonna suck. So I'm just gonna put these like these tiny flags here and there, and you know the objectives. Yeah, it's not it's not a seven
No,
kind of thing. It's not.
it's a lot more difficult without a crystal sword. Like, let's
Yes,
be real.
yes.
Like
Well,
that
well, that's
Baigen
easy.
without
You
a
just
crystal
find the
sword.
crystal sword.
Yeah, just find
Oh,
a crystal sword forehead. But that
Yeah.
Baigen without a crystal sword, that would not have been fun.
yeah,
This would have taken an entire different tone and tenor. So I kid, of course. You know I love the work you do on all these alchemy. So thank you as always. It's always super fun to do these.
I can take a critique. Don't worry. I'm gonna go over all the flexes with a fine tooth comb, as they say.
So you did miss. There was an Excal in the medic area in Baron Castle or in Evelyn Caves.
That was hilarious.
Why
So-
are shiny swords in an infirmary? Isn't that inherently dangerous?
Or it explains why there's an infirmary in the first place.
Okay, also fair.
Or maybe it's like the biggest like scalpel like you've ever seen.
Oh my.
That's a.
It's
that's a thought
holy.
that's
It's
gonna linger.
holy. It like heals the wounds or something. I don't know.
Like if Dr. Luge were to do surgery, I'd imagine I could see him like slicing up with an Excalibur. Like that makes sense.
I like that. That needs to be
Yeah.
canon now.
Now here's the real surgery. You know.
You broke me with that quote.
So, Possum, what were your thoughts on the race, man?
I mean, overall, it was I mean, it was a Crystal Sword Cecil show. Like, Palom existed. That was cool. The early twin was great. Like, I aggressively routed for characters because I wanted to, of all things, I wanted to find a Porum because twin early on is so good. And then I got the meta objective out of the way, right? You know, as soon as I could get Virus. The edge from the moon was super nice to really facilitate a lot of speed stuff on the overworld. And, you know, remembering where I had seen the mute knives to pick those up. Like, overall, I thought the seed flowed really well. The characters we were provided really helped that. And especially once I found the curse string, I was like, oh, well, I just want to go Zerkers now. Because with J spells on, it's going to take forever to get everyone to where I want them to be. So let me go Zerkers, this Edge, this Cecil, they're perfect for this. Rosa, I couldn't ask for, you know, a better 3 people to make that happen. So, you know, and then the shiny sword showed up and it was like, okay, I guess. Twist my arm game.
Yeah, I was mentioning on the booth like, oh wow, it's like you look at the spoiler log before starting the race. It was wild. Like, oh wow, it's like Possum knows exactly where to go. But
Yeah,
but in
well-
truth, it's just the seed playing itself pretty much.
Except for the fact where I got the crystal sword, I was so excited I got it, I forgot to turn the rat tail in. And then I go underground, I'm like, ah, crap. Like, this is going to eat at me if I don't turn this in. And then it turns into the pan, and I'm like, okay, well, we got to do this. And then it turns into go mode, and I'm like, okay, well, I guess. Like, it was just wild.
Yeah.
When you were doing your grind on ordeals, was that to try to get Palom's wisdom up to a certain spot for the meta objective?
I had to get Virus at level 19. So once I get Virus, then I can bluff the 5 or 6 times needed to get him to max. And then I can kill whatever boss is there. That was the whole plan there. Just it happened to be a really convenient one in D-Mist where it just kind of let you do your thing. So
Indeed.
that was kind of the goal behind that. I had bought bombs for that purpose and then found Edge, and it was like, oh, well, I guess I don't need these bombs anymore.
Yeah,
That's
I was wondering about the bombs too. Yeah, wow.
Yeah. That was to facilitate getting to Virus on ordeals.
Indeed.
Smart. How did you decide how many sirens to use before heading off to Z?
2,000 HP on Rosa.
Indeed.
Thank you
Yeah,
for the
sorry.
elaborate answer.
No big brain galaxy strap there. Just a nice round number that makes me comfortable.
We were
I mean,
we were talking about like why did you choose to grind eggs instead of like gold dragons? What was your choice there?
So I would have had to buy hourglasses. It would have meant an extra shop check, and frankly, without weak, like they're just slow. When you have a whole day grind, I can push out just over 3 eggs a minute with a whole day grind. Whereas I would need to be doing at least one set of gold dragons a minute, and I don't know that I would do that with life glitches. I'm really not certain. So I was like, I'll just do the eggs and then go. It saves me a shop trip. It saves me the headaches of the initial punches before the hourglass goes off. Like, it's just safer. Um, and I can just hold A and think about planning out, like, do I need a silk web? Do I need to do anything else before Z? What's my battle plan going to be? I don't have to think about the gold dragon fight. I can just hold A and beat the eggs up.
You know,
Um,
folks, saving up on brain power is very important.
I refer to myself as a glorified pink puff in a sense because of how I like to play this game. That is just another way. It's like make it easy for yourself. The whole make it simple, stupid thing. Like anything you can do to make it easy on yourself, that's gonna help you in the long run. Like
all right, so
it's
explain this to me. At the Coco shop, you had Edge on what, mute knives, and in the Coco shop
yes.
there were Murasames, and I don't know if you dropped the controller or what, but there were protect rings in there, Murasames for Edge, and you checked out of there exceptionally quickly. I was like, oh, there, good. He's gone.
Oh yeah, I
So
wanted power shirts or Zeus gauntlets for Cecil. That was it. I didn't care about the weapons. The Murasames are 98k. That's way too expensive. Protect rings are nice, but like I had rune rings from the starting kit. Rune rings give more magic evasion than protect rings, if I remember right. Anyway, so they're better for Z. So I was just kind of like the shop doesn't do much. I don't know that I'm going to scrounge up the money for Murasames, and by the time I'm done looking and shopping, I've probably lost time versus just letting Crystal Sword Cecil hit things.
there it is.
I see. So, Possum, like, GG's again, and thanks a lot for running this. I'll be checking in with you later.
Sounds good, Alchemy. Thank you, Brickety Brick, Mr. Burkhead. Uh, Thank you, Alchemy, for both of y'all doing amazing comms. Thank you, I believe, Dubword, for pushing the buttons and keeping me away from an afternoon snack. We'll have words about that later. And thank you, Asuka, for the fantastic seed and restream. Or Alchemy, did you roll this one? I forget. It doesn't matter. Thank
I
y'all. Y'all are great. And
I
I'll
did.
catch y'all next time.
See ya.
All right, take care.
And we have here the second place finisher table, GG's table.
GG's.
What were your thoughts on the seed?
Crystal Sword Cecil just opened everything up. Fading Dwarf and Feymarch was really the play.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the seed gave you an X-Cal, but I think it wanted to have better for you. So, it gave you a nice little upgrade there.
Well, yeah, so once I got done doing Eblin, I had the heroine robe and the samurai bow and bonk staff. I'm like, Rosa could go up ordeal solo. Like, okay, cool. Let's get Paladin Cecil online as quickly as possible.
That makes sense. Like you went up ordeals really quickly. I was surprised by the play, but having a heroine robo on toe, it makes a lot of sense. I really like the play where you kept Rusa alive because Dark Knight Cecil was gonna get levels reset and Palom got levels anyway because he was the hero. For like Dark Knight Cecil, it was really heads up.
Yeah, and then I know it took a little bit of time because I calculated the amount of bluffs I needed to do before I took on Vigan.
Uh-huh.
That's a bold choice for the meta objective.
Well, yes. I did the calculations. I had to do 3.3 bluffs to max out the stat.
Oh, 3.3, huh? I see.
Yep. Well, I had. Yeah, well, I brought up a calculator. It's just like, okay, I'll just okay, what do I have? I've got 46. Cool. 99 minus 46 divided by 16. Cool. That's what I need.
A save eraser uses all the tools at their disposal, including a calculator.
Trust me, I know Pancras has done that in the Z fight to calculate the amount of damage he's done.
I can't imagine paying attention to C and inputting numbers on a calculator at the same time. Pancras is a god.
I mean,
I've tried, but no, I've failed many times.
I play a lot of Breath of the Wild, and every once in a while I'll watch clips of these people that figure out these absurd attacks and whatever. And one of the comments on one of those videos was they're not playing the same game as the rest of us. And when I sit back and I watch you or Pancraz or Possum or so many of these amazing runners that we have, it's like they're not playing the same game that some of the rest of us are. With the calculations, with the routing. I mean, what was supposed to be a tricky seed, max tier 6, C hero, we have to worry about the agility, max party 4, 5 objectives, and both of you knocked it out in an hour 5. I mean, it's poetry to watch. It really is.
Well, yeah, and then of course being a double there at ordeals with the adamant or the legend sword, it was like, well, okay. Um, the only thing I was worried about was having like magma key at Fabul, since I faded it when I got the pan. I'm like, I can just single dip Fabul and be fine. But if the magma key's there, I'm spending so much time going down this hook route.
That
I
is
have
true.
I have a random question. At the end of your grind, you used a coffin on Kane, and for the love of God, I can't figure out why.
It was preparation for Golbez at Baron.
That's so smart. They're not playing the same game as the rest of us. That's so smart.
I
Oh, that
remembered
makes a
that
lot of sense.
Golbez was at Baron 1, and Shadow won't eat anybody if there's just 2 people sitting up. Palom gets experience regardless, and I wanted Rose to get the last bit of experience to make sure she was above 2k health for the Z fight.
So smart.
Absolutely wonderful. Thanks a lot. I so you got you did so you did Staleman chest and you got an Excalibur, and then you got the Crystal Sword right after. How like what was up with that?
I was like, I got the Excal, I'm like, cool, I've got an Excal, but I knew that it was Baigen on the hook route. I know how much of pain Baigen can be at Ruby without Quake on Palom. So it's like, okay, well, I've got to do some more trap chests to get Quake on Palom. I'll go to
Right.
Evelyn. And then
So
finding the Crystal Sword's like, oh, well, okay.
right. So the idea wasn't okay. I'm gonna try to get a better sword for Cecil because you already had Excalibur. It was just like incidental, right?
Yeah, I was just instantly getting the Crystal Sword. It was primarily for Quake for Palom to take out the arms. And I thought, well, I'm high enough level, I can do Baigen with the meta objective. This is fine.
And you were
This
right.
is fine.
Oh, that's awesome.
Okay, Tybalt. There's only 3 characters left in this club, and they are Cecil, Rosa, and Sid. Like I know Possum won, but out of the 3, which one would you like to see most?
I mean, Sid's you think of the Sea Hero flag and how you have the anchoring. Sid is probably one of the easier heroes to have because he's such a great anchor. Between Cecil and Rosa, like, I know Cecil, you've got massive weapons with the Forge. Probably say Rosa's probably be
Well,
one of the harder ones.
I don't know about massive weapons. Like he only has the Pigit stick and the the
So,
Lightbringer, but most of
so
Cecil's super forges are actually worse than Excalibur.
The
uh,
Caliburn is a real delight.
Caliburn
Yeah.
and Swords, when he's got Lightbringer, he's got Gigantax, and he's got
Oh
Pig
yeah, the
Stick.
Jagandax. Yeah,
And
the
Pig Stick
Jagandax is
is basically almost like an Excal.
almost, but not quite. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have the extra multiplier from the strength.
So she can choose. That's okay.
And then
I,
Gigantics, you can Berserk glitch him and give it to Kane, and Kane can use one too.
yep.
Well, for when the Sid hero comes out, I hope we see a flare hammer. I love
Oh.
that thing.
Yes.
It's so good.
Reflect strats with the flare hammer. I've done it. It's amazing.
Of course you have, because you're not playing the same game as the rest of us.
I mean, I've done some really strange things. I've done reflect strats with an edge hero, 56 agility. Let's go.
Let's
Not
go.
something you want to do.
Let's go. RA5 Ceromas, let's go.
Oh, and Cecil's also got the Fandango.
Yep. Got all of the Flan Sword. Okay, Tybalt, like thanks a lot for joining the club. It was a pleasure watching your race as always.
No problem. Thanks for streaming, and thanks for putting the club together. I have thoroughly enjoyed the hero's journey.
Oh,
I wake up early so I can actually do it. Gives me a reason to
Oh.
get up on the weekends early.
that makes me very happy that you chose my silly reflexes over sleep on a weekend. That's massive for me. Thank you very much. That warms my heart.
And thanks, Asuka, for restreaming, and thanks to both Alchemy and John Brady Brick for doing the commentary and Dubwort doing the tracking.
It's literally our pleasure.
Have a good one.
All right, take care.
Take care, table GG's again.
GG's.
All right, well, that was fun.
So that's gonna be it for us. Thanks a lot for tuning in to Free Enterprise. We're gonna be rating Dishmood619, who's running the spring tournament flag sets that have been posted. Hey, we're getting a tournament coming pretty soon. You can join the Discord if you're interested in the spring tournament that's gonna be happening around March, I believe. So
Yeah.
Dishmood, yeah, go on, Brigitte.
Yeah, I apologize. I was just say I got my introduction to racing with the ZZ4 tournament, and it was a really nice lead-in. So if anyone out there is thinking about joining the race or wants to start running or has questions, the Discord here is filled with wonderful resources and, more importantly, wonderful people.
Indeed. So we're gonna leave you with Dishmood and take care, everyone.
Have a good night.